Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at commaik. The conversion of my pool from a steel wall pool to a stone pool is currently progressing only slowly. I am still waiting for the concrete pump. However, today I will use the time to connect the inlet nozzles. I will modify the old piping from the oval steel wall pool to convert and connect to the inlet nozzles of the new stone pool. The individual parts can be seen. You can already see what is lying here and what it has to do with the drainage pipe. See you soon if you stay tuned. See you in a bit. For almost half a year, I have been converting my former oval steel wall pool into a stone pool. You can see the southern partition wall where I will install 2 inlet nozzles, the masonry penetration. I have already built it into the stone wall, even though the stones are not yet filled. The wall is already stable and I can continue working. On the back side, I have a 2-inch external thread. My original plan was to connect the supply line that comes from the pool house, and here at this point, divide it into the left and right halves through a T-piece. We'll extend these pipes and connect them directly to the inlet nozzles. I have now discarded the plan. I will connect the pipes in such a way that I will place a 90-degree angle on this T-piece and go directly over the stones. I am installing a T-piece in the support wall, which directs the supply line to the right and to the left, divides the 2 inlet nozzles. This T-piece will be removed by me and replaced with a 90-degree angle replaced. From this angle, the pipe runs over the stones and is routed over the removed T-piece is divided. This allows the pipe, which will later be open or respectively. The concrete does not release too much heat. My pool supply line has a heating system. The pipe is additionally wrapped in a drainage pipe. Inside the drainage pipe is the flexible pipe, a little air and an insulating buffer. This way, the heat from the solar heating does not escape, lost. For the connection to the inlet nozzle, or respectively, I have already acquired various fittings for the masonry penetration. I have a transition from 2 inches to 1 inches. This will be connected with a 1 inch. Internal thread of this flexible pipe elbow, the whole thing twice, for the left side and for the right side. I also have a 90-degree angle that will be installed here already in stock. I will link the components in the description under the video. Then you can order the material without long searching. Before I lay the flexible pipe, I will assemble the transitions from the masonry penetration and the angle through the thread. In this case, I cannot be sure about this thread here, and the connection is sealed. I will have to work with a threaded seal here. This means for me, off to the workshop, and first, let's screw together these components. Welcome back to my workshop. You can see here the reducer with 2-inch internal thread, which will be attached to the masonry penetration with 1/2-inch external thread. This angle screws onto the external thread, and the flexible pipe will go into the angle. Attaching the flexible pipe is thinkable simple. The clamping ring is loosened. Then the flexible pipe or the flexible hose is used. It is introduced. Then the nut is screwed back on. Inside, there is a sealing ring. Therefore, it is important that the flexible pipe is always cut straight so that the end can then fit cleanly against the sealing ring. After that, this clamping sleeve, this clamping ring comes next. The clamping ring has small barbs. When the flexible pipe is inserted into the opening, and then when this ring is tightened, the white clamp ring compresses. The mechanism operates by securely positioning itself inside the pipe, ensuring a tight and sealed fit. This is crucial for maintaining the integrity of the connection. To achieve this, the external threads are meticulously aligned and connected, providing a robust and reliable seal that prevents any leakage or disconnection. This process is essential for the proper functioning of the system, ensuring that all components are securely fastened and operational. To seal this internal thread, there are several options. Often, the threads already have a conical cut. This means the further I screw the pipe in, the harder it becomes. The threads seal themselves automatically. In this case, that will be the screwing in gets a bit harder towards the end, but I'm not completely confident about it. I'm not sure if the pipes have a conical thread. For this reason, I will seal the thread with an O-ring, the sealing ring. To begin, I carefully position the component over the external thread. Once aligned, I proceed to rotate the pipe, gradually screwing it in place. I continue this process until the pipe is securely fastened and fully tightened, ensuring a snug fit without any gaps or looseness. Not too tight, otherwise the ring will be damaged. The connection should now be sealed. In addition to the sealing ring, I will also install a thread sealing tape. For this, I use regular thread sealing tape. For example, this one here. I make sure that for each threaded groove, a thread of sealing tape is laid. The thicker the thread is wound, the more. When the risk is higher, there is a greater chance that the thread might break or the reducer could potentially suffer damage. This is because increased risk factors can lead to more stress on the components, causing them to fail or become compromised. To accomplish this task, I don't require a lot of materials or tools. First, I carefully position the thread into the designated groove, ensuring it is aligned properly. I then hold the thread firmly in place with my fingers to maintain tension. After securing the thread, I proceed to gently pull it through the groove, making sure it moves smoothly and without any snags or interruptions. This process is simple, yet requires attention to detail to ensure everything is done correctly. I have already prepared this here. As you can clearly observe, you can see that the thread is not tightly wound. When I connect this now, at this moment, I can already feel the resistance. Using a considerable amount of force, I am able to carefully screw the fitting all the way up until it reaches the seal ring. This process requires precision and strength to ensure that the fitting is securely fastened and properly aligned with the... I am back at the pool once again, and right here at the masonry penetration. This 2-inch internal thread fits directly, as expected, and naturally, of course, on this 2-inch external thread, and I can screw on the angle relatively easily. It wobbles a little. This means to me that this connection is not secure without an additional... The sealing is not watertight. Here I have the option to place a seal ring in the... to very carefully insert the angle and then screw the whole thing in until it is completely tightened. The edge of this component comes into contact with the seal ring, effectively sealing the connection between the two parts. This sealing action is crucial as it ensures that please ensure that you disconnect the connection only if the angle very carefully points to the right and only when it is indeed absolutely necessary. That is the wrong direction. The angle must point to the left. I could turn the angle further with a lot of force. However, I can no longer be sure that the seal ring seals properly in the angle. For this reason, I will also secure the thread here with an additional seal thread. My advantage at the moment is that I can currently gain access to this area behind the wall at any time. I am going to carefully install a plug on the opposite side of the masonry penetration. After ensuring it is securely in place, I will proceed to water in the area thoroughly. This process is crucial to ensure that everything is set up correctly and functions as intended, preventing any potential issues in the future. Fill the pipes. This way, I can already check if all the connections are tight to ensure that there are no leaks or issues with the system and verify that everything is functioning as expected and that all components are working in harmony and that the pressure levels are optimal and consistent throughout the entire system. That was indeed already too much. This is how the direction fits. The pipe connection should go through the sealing tape. Now it should be watertight. Now I can take care of myself and the T-piece. I will take care of this T-piece. I will very carefully remove it and securely replace it with an angle. These connectors can be easily tightened by hand. However, it is advisable to use a mounting key for this purpose, the appropriate one. You can find the product link in the video description. Please note that I will first carefully and slowly open the two side panels and then carefully remove the branches and then detach carefully. Take off in a gentle manner, ensuring no damage is done to any part of it during removal process. As you can clearly observe, there is a relatively small and noticeable notch on the flexible hose right over here. The white clamp ring has securely held the hose in place. This ensures that it remains stable and does not move.
The T-piece has been very carefully removed. I will indeed leave the existing old nut on the pipe. Here I have the new angle. It will now simply be securely reattached. Screwed in place. Initially just hand tight. I still need to align the pipe. In the end, I tighten all the connections with the assembly key. Here I have my angle that goes into the middle runs. Here is the T-piece, which divides the piping to the right and left. A pipe from the old pool, which was previously used, is now to be installed between the T-piece and the angle. To find out the correct and exact length required, I will carefully and precisely open the adapter at the necessary angle and to ensure accuracy in the process of determining the correct length for this task. Carefully push the pipe in until it stops. Now I gently and with care mark the length on the pipe with precision and accuracy. The outer side of the fitting has a boundary edge. The pipe is carefully and securely inserted into the connector up to this edge, ensuring a snug fit. This way, I can easily, accurately, and precisely mark the necessary length. With a pipe cutter, one must cut the flexible pipe cleanly. However, a large pipe cutter is needed for this. I take a sharp iron saw and make sure that I cut the pipe cleanly at a 90-degree angle. After cutting off the pipe, I have carefully slid both the nut and the clamping ring onto the pipe. This ensures that they are in the correct position and ready for the next step in the process. Now, I can proceed with the assembly, making sure everything is aligned properly. Now screw the pipe onto the T-piece. Here too, I only tighten it by hand. At this point in the process, I am now connecting the opposite end of the pipe, ensuring it aligns perfectly with the designated angle at the pool wall. This step is crucial for maintaining the structural integrity and proper function of the entire system, as it ensures that the water flow is directed correctly and efficiently. I will align the pipe later and place a clamp in the middle. This way, the pipe won't sag. Then I carefully and securely tighten the connection with the wrench, using a standard sized wrench, ensuring everything is properly aligned. Now it's time for the left side. After that, I can do a test. At this point, I could already perform the leak test. I want to seal this middle area later with concrete. Only the fittings. The T-piece and the angle should remain accessible in case I need to make any repairs there. The concrete does not absorb too much heat from the pool inlet. The water is heated via a solar heating system. I will carefully wrap a drain pipe around the flexible pipe. This will carefully insulate the flexible pipe and carefully protect it from the concrete.
After I connected the new flexible pipes to the old pool inlet, now that I have connected it, it's time to test the connections. Here I have my masonry penetration and would prefer to simply screw in a plug. However, this is to a 2-inch internal thread and my plug only has a 1/2-inch external thread. Therefore, the inlet nozzle is wrapped tightly, securely and effectively with Teflon tape to create a compression seal. I screw the inlet nozzle in as far as it will go until the resistance becomes too great. And then I will simply add water to the system. And once the water then starts to flow out here, the process will continue. I will seal the opening with my winter plug. On the other side, I have already done that. Then I can see whether the water pressure remains constant or whether it sinks. Then I need to check where the leak is. I fill the water directly in the pool house. Here is the inlet for the solar heating and here is the return flow. I have the bypass. I have already closed it. I will fill the water through this pipe. The side of the solar heating is also sealed. The system is therefore closed. The water, it is accumulating here in this pipe in the direction of the pool inlet. Water, march, slightly. Right here, I can already see a leak, a problematic spot. I need to tighten the connector once more. It looks absolutely fantastic back there. Here, a little water is dripping from the thread. I will take care of that too. Tighten it just once more, a little bit more. But right over there, everything looks tight. Good. It's not that bad at this moment now. Tightening connectors with the key. Then the connections should be tight. I tightened the leaking connections again. The connection at the T-piece had to be. I will open it again and reinsert the pipe. Now everything is sealed. I can now focus on I will take care of the next construction phase. I have received the happy news that soon, finally, the concrete pump is coming to fill the remaining formwork blocks. At the same time, it will also, the foundation for the garden kitchen and the new garden house behind it has been poured. Until then, there is still a little bit to do. I will start by plastering the already finished walls. Of course, I will take you along again. If you don't want to miss it, subscribe to my channel. Give me a like if you enjoyed my video and check the video description below. Please purchase through my product links if you would like to support my channel. For that, I would like to thank you in advance. At this point, thank you very much for watching. Until next time,